Hello, my friends. This is an old picture of me and my mother when I was around 14. By the time I actually found this picture, it was like a couple of days back. Not bad for a scan that I actually found in the back house. Because since we're doing a lot of changes around the Tenkai house, mind you, this house has been around since 1920. So this house has been going through a lot of changes. It has seen many things, just like I have seen many things. It has gone through a lot of many things, just like I have been gone through a lot of many things. As I'm looking back at it now, I'm 41 years old. Lately, I have been looking back at how long I've been on YouTube, and apparently, I've been on YouTube for about 10 years. YouTube has been an essential part of my life since I first started using my channel a decade ago. For the last couple of years, well, you've seen the changes that have been going on my channel. Through usernames, titles, and apparently various different computers. I've been through quite so much since 2010. I can laugh about it now because I find it funny that I've been around since 2010. In a sense, being who I am on YouTube has empowered me in my actual life, to which I am an author and a voice actor, as well as a content creator. This in turn means I'm an artist. I faced ridicule all my life because I have a disability. But yet, as someone with a disability, and that I can take my time trying to explain the whys and hows and whos of video games most times, and trying to make a point all other times. It is amazing that I came from a somewhat trifling childhood. Because, and before I continue, I apologize if this story sounds a bit familiar, but to those who are new to my channel, it's key you know a little bit about myself. Yes, like I said, I had a trifling childhood because having a disability, cerebral palsy for that matter, I went through a lot of shit. I've been going to doctor's appointments. I've been going through a lot of therapy. And on top of that, I've taken a lot of medicine. Some in which weren't so good for me that I had to take myself off it. Despite there have been times that I've had multiple cases of having seizures, petit mal. That means a little seizures. Now, for those who don't know what that kind of seizure is, it's zoning out. When I was younger, it was a lot worse than me growing up with it when I was going through my teen years. I don't think I've ever spoken about this in a long time, or if I have ever shared it in a video like this. But I think it's apparent that it has to be shared. It don't need to be shared, but I feel it has to be shared. So, like I said, I've been through a lot of shit. Medicine I took was Depakote. I had to take myself off it because I had violent fits of rage when I was younger. And it's because of that medicine that I took and what I mentioned that got me into violent fits of rage. Now, the good thing is, it never happened when I'm in the public eye. It's just basically a side effect of the medication that was to supposedly control my seizures. Now, mind you, being that I had cerebral palsy, I was told, quote unquote, by many doctors that I would be unable to hold a thought. In short, I'm brain dead. Now, I can tell you, that's worse than being called a racial slur. Being called brain dead is the worst thing you could ever feel. You could say you can be dumb, you could be a moron, you could be ugly, but that really don't matter if you are basically called brain dead. That's the worst thing you can ever call anybody. Next to being a subhuman, that's the worst. That's the worst thing I feel you can ever be called in your life. Would be brain dead, a retard. So let us go to 2006. First started actually doing something online because, well, back then we had AOL. And you remember AOL and dial up. And all the cringe-worthy sound effects that went with it. My life online started when I was on web TV. That's actually at the same time which I actually started doing actually dabbling in doing stories, fan fictions. Between the years of 19 to say 21. Yes, I was on web TV until I basically moved up to having a computer. During those times, when I was out of town and my mom wanted to contact me, she actually learned how to use the computer. Many things happened when I was out of town, or rather, when I was out of state. Not out of town, out of state. My mom was there in the rough times of my life, which happened to be when around my 20s. She was there when I was going through the ugliest marriage, which happened to be my darkest time in my life. Because really, it was that dark. It was ugly. It was just, it was just something that just had to be said. I do not ever want to relive it. And if I have to talk about it in full detail, I will make that into a horror. I really will. I will actually make everything that I went through in my first marriage into a horror novel. So you want to know what this video is about, since it's supposed to be a happy video. It is a happy video because like I said, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot since I was a kid. And this picture is a fine reminder of how long I've been through a lot of shit. I was watching a few of my older videos not too long ago, and I'm thinking to myself, gosh, I have videos that go way back to August. And that's what I was looking for. I was looking for the date of when I first started doing videos. And when I first started off on YouTube, I did about, say, 6 videos. 6 videos per day. Back in the day in which YouTube had 15-minute video, a 15-minute limit on videos, whether it was 10 or it was 15 or something like that, I was there with the 10 and the 15 minutes. And my God, let me tell you something. Doing something like an RPG like Sailor Moon, Another Story, or Chronicle of the Radio War, let me tell you, that is like totally taxing. Basically, you had a time how you're going to do this, how you're going to pull this off, and how long you can actually go from point A to point B. And I've seen other, and even now, people are still doing that. They're actually still doing the 10, 15-minute thing. Personally, they're doing that personally, 10 to 15 minutes. Because they don't want to make their videos too long or whatnot. Because viewership and, meeting the standards of the all-important or not so important needs of the views. So I've been through a lot of shit. A lot of shit. Even on my older videos, or not even my older videos, got a few haters that say, I suck and everything. And I said, yeah, you know what? I don't fucking care. Remove. If not that, you can always be blacklisted. But for the most part, for anything that is worth keeping around, saying I love this video, anything positive, I keep. anything negative, I throw away. It pretty much is that. It is through my mom that I've gained an interest. Yes, interest. I'm very nasally at this moment, so I'm trying to make sure I don't mess up on what I'm saying here. But it's through my mom that I grew an interest in underrated games. Thus, through her, I actually rediscovered what kind of games I can do on my channel. Even one of my older games that I actually own was actually another game under a different. It was a game under a different name that I didn't know about, and it was called Sayuki World. And if you don't remember an old NES title by Jalico called Wampum. In Japanese, it was a Sayuki game. It's called Sayuki World 2. Basically, the Native American character is actually Sun Wukong, or Son Goku, the Monkey King, you know. So, I thought about it some time back, and like I said, I've been through a lot. And what my mom did, she indirectly made the theme of the games I cover now. Because when I was younger, she brought me a lot of games from her trip in New York City because she used to sing with the choir. In life, that's what she did. She was a she was a yeah. Mind you, it's 6 o'clock, so I'm partially tired too. So at the time of this recording, I am about to head to sleep. So I am pretty much tired. Don't ask why I'm doing this. I have had a long, long day. My sleep schedule is actually not kind of messed up. Is messed up to where I sleep for a good 6 hours, 7 hours, give or take. Whenever work comes in, I do it. Not during the day, but at night. Whether it's from my coach or it's from my agent, I have to do it. I have to turn it in, and there you go. I mean, they're all auditions, so that's another thing. So there's a reason why I do a certain breed of games which are underrated. That means fan translations, games I grew up with, semi cult favorites, but none of the popular stuff because hell, anybody can do the popular stuff like Mario and Zelda and the like. You know, it's just basically, eh, you seen one, you seen one, but have you ever done a game like this? I could say through this channel it has really saved my life because I've been through the harshest environments known to man. But through my livelihood, it has kept me alive. And that woman in that picture, it was because of her that I'm a Let's Player. Because of her, I decided to try voice acting and be an author. I've been through the worst of it. I've been through depression of the highest caliber. I've had a heart attack once, and that's because of one of my arteries needed to get some air. They had to go in. They had to basically do some redirecting of sorts. They had to basically keep me alive. And when I was in the hospital, they asked me how I got this way. I told them straight out, stress. I don't smoke. I don't drink. But it was stress. Because I'm dealing with the following. I'm dealing with some no account people who aren't really helping this whole matter of how to move on with life. All I'm hearing is wine, bitch, wine, bitch, wine, bitch, and wine. More wine with the bitch. It is terrible. It is gut wrenching. I felt my health declining because of just that alone. When doctors ask me, do I smoke? Do I drink? I said, no, I don't smoke. I don't drink. I said, aside from cholesterol, the only thing that was just, the only thing I was just doing was taking care of myself. So at one point, they put me on medication. They put me on 7 things of medication. They thought I was also a diabetic. I'm no diabetic. I mean, I always manage to take a good walk, after hours. Like, say, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, when the weather's nice and cool to where I can just walk up to the market or to Winchell's or 7-Eleven, get a nice 30-minute walk out of it, and there you go. I'm getting something out of what I'm doing, and I still am. I'm still alive because of my said livelihood. And I've been on YouTube for about 10 years, even though, according to what it says, it's like, oh, it's been like 9 to. I have videos that go back for about 9 years. Some that say 8, some that say 7 because of the date. And I can tell you this. I'm still around. Nothing has actually changed except for what I'm playing. That's the only thing that has been changed. I'm doing PS4 now. I'm still doing PC. I'm still doing everything from the old school. Or just about everything from the old school. I'm looking for games. I'm not asking for games. I'm not even going on, say, fundraising website, just say, oh hey, guys, could you send me some money for this? No, don't need that. There's no point in doing that. I mean, for others, yeah, but for me, no, it doesn't work for me. I'm keeping myself busy throughout this epidemic. So if I've been pushing a lot of videos out, like say 2 or 3 a day, yeah, that's because I'm making an effort to just get as much content as I can so that it be more is less for now. More is less for me. I do more videos. I have them set up to where I schedule everything on a weekly basis, to where all I had to do is just upload it, set the time, there it goes. I'm doing this just to say, oh hey, I'm picking up on something I used to do when I first started, which was upload 6 videos in one day. And I remember listening to a let's play that one of my RCO buddies mentioned, Big Fatty Plus. He mentioned that he records six or so episodes. I could say, man, have you looked at my channel? As when I started, I uploaded 5 to 6 episodes. Hell, I didn't even know how to use my software correctly, and all I did was use capture device. Just use capture device, and I'm doing 10 to 15 minute chunk of these little chunk of video, basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like I'm playing a beat 'em up, and the levels aren't that long. They're like maybe 7 to almost 10 minutes long. If I could squeeze in 2 levels, I can squeeze in 2 levels, make it count for something. As compared to now, sections. That's how long I can actually make my videos into sections. If I can make it into like an episodic video, I can do that. Or to where one part is longer than the other because I'm going through the maze once, and the second time I don't have to go through it. Excuse me. I don't have to go through it a second time, like as compared to the first. Like I could say this: the last part of the last arc of Digimon Adventure I did, I pulled off doing this, making an hour-long video, an hour and maybe 11 minutes long. That's about 71 minutes. 71-minute video. All you're seeing me doing is going through this pyramid, going through one switch to another, just activating everything just so I can advance the plot and hopefully get to the end of this part where all I would have to do is go to a save point, stop there, start a new part, but have less trouble in getting around. Let me tell you, after all that, I had to take a break. Less is more, like I said. The more I do, the less it is for me later down the road. And I've always been like that since I was small. When I was 13, I brainstormed a lot of titles. I did a mock playwright of Sonic 2. Just imagining just me doing this. Imagining a banter between Sonic and Tails the entire time. I also did playwrights of, I did a lot of mock playwrights when I was younger. So, video games have served their due diligence in my early years. They still are to this day. So, let me tell you, it is not easy trying to hold up everything after 10 years. After being on YouTube for a decade and still being the same person after all this time, that is an accomplishment within itself. I'm being me. I have always been me for the last 41 years. I've always been the same, supposedly straight A student growing up within my um, 18 years of student life. And for the rest of the time, all I've been doing is trying to help out my family. And trying to meet their demands. I don't know why, but it is what it is. And let me tell you, their demands have been crazy. Go find a job. Oh well, I've done that. It didn't work out because politics. Then all of a sudden, age gets to my parents. My dad, Bill, he died. He died when I was 13. I was in. I was going into high school, and as I did, I broke down in science. Physical science class, I remember all too well. That woman right there, been raising me since, well, until I turned, like, say, 35. She's been in my, she's been in my life for most of the time that I've been here, up until the end of her life. And for those who want to know where Pookie Izzy 7 came from, it came from a mixture of my mom's nickname and my nickname. The 7, we just popped it together. We just picked on a number out of the blue and just say, you know what, let's just put that together. When she was growing up, she was called Pookie. When I was going through high school, I wasn't called Izzy. I was called Izdog. In high school, on my last year of high school, when I was 18, that's when I started getting somewhat of a bit of street rep. I got some street cred for picking on some punk ass hellbacker who's been in Spanish since ninth grade. He's been held back since And he had the nerve to basically pick on me, quote unquote, the smartest guy in the class. And for those who don't know, um, yeah, I threw the guy. Teacher had to take care of some business in the principal's office. He left the dummy in charge. I'm basically taking care of my business. He gets up in my grill and hey, he starts doing the following. He starts talking shit in my face. I'm being nice about it. I'm saying, please, please don't, please don't. I'm just taking care of my business. I'm doing my assignment. I got no beef with you. So, after all that, he still doesn't get it. So, I grab him by his piece of shit chain, and it might have looked like I grabbed the guy by his throat because I wrapped my hands around his shirt collar. But from what they almost can see, like I put a chokehold on him, threw him across the room, and I shrugged. I said, "Yeah, I did it. I'm I'm going to the principal's office." Okay. Find out later. Okay. That we would have to pay for this punk ass piece of shit chain, which was something from the swap meet. Mom came up. She says, "How much is it?" She says 20. The principal says it's $20. They look at my records. They see it's spotless. They they look at my records. They say, well, ma'am, your son here, um, well, we don't know what to say. I mean, he's a he's a great student. He follows the rules. We get no problem from him. So it worked in my favor. In short, RNG was looking out for me. But as I said before, this picture means a lot to me because it was through this woman she has indirectly been a part of my channel since. And all that I'm sharing about what I've been going through. My highs and lows and ups and downs. She's been there with me, for me the entire time, up until her death. Even when I was in Japan, she was looking out for me. She went to Bonsai Anime. She sent me a care package of nothing but books. She sent me she sent me a little self-help book here and there, but mainly she sent me manga, which I kept over the years. She sent me Yu Yu Hakusho. And she said, "Well, I'm not sure if you might not like this, but here I'm gonna send this to you anyway." I kept that ever since, and that's one of the series that I really want to finish reading because I only have about say 6 or 7 of those. It's about the same thing with Blackjack. Because, like I said, I have like a couple of manga that I would love to finish. Rurouni Kenshin is probably one of the few manga I have actually finished. And yet I've not done a review of that yet. I've also have few websites about there being some mangas based off old old timeless tales like Huckleberry Finn, A Midsummer Night Dream, Dracula, and others. Like I said, I am a bookworm by nature. For those who don't know, I am a bookworm by nature. That's why sometimes I read. Sometimes I get a visual novel. I tend to read. I tend to immerse myself as the main character, especially if every other character has a speaking voice except for the main character. I don't mind being the main character and everybody's talking to me and around me, just because. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. More for me to read and less for me to actually read everybody else's line and go into different character voices. But I can only say, after all this that has been going on, I'm actually glad that I'm still here. I've grown from, I want to get 100 subs to, oh, cool, I got 1,000, 1,300 something, and still going. I have amassed about 160 some odd games, and the list is still growing. Because as long as there is something I can play on, I can manage to do the following: make a let's play of it, or review it. Because sometimes when I do reviews, I mainly do reviews more than actually want to, do it as a let's play. Because there are two things that would hold me back from doing it as a full blown let's play: the hardware, like say the PS4. I can't really, record everything on the PS4 because, watermarks. But I can stream it. And that's the one thing I haven't done in a long ass time because, well, I don't know what it is with me and streaming, but it seems like we can't seem to get it out so well. Oh, I don't mind if I'm in somebody else's stream. But if it was just me streaming, I don't know what it is. But there's some people that bitch and whine about the motherfucking settings. And I can only say, look, I'm doing the best I can. I'd rather you just say, I don't want you to stream, you're taking up my spot, and so on and so on and so on, then just let me know, oh hey, how come this is happening and I'm slow and you're going too fast, or what, all these little technical difficulties, you know. It's like no matter what it is, we're always going to run into some technical difficulties. Whether you're recording something or you're streaming something, it's not going to be always the same thing. So just be grateful that somebody is actually putting in the time to provide free entertainment. That's all I'm doing. I'm providing free entertainment. Fuck the analysis and records and views and all that shit. If I get something like, great job on this LP, such and such and such and such, something simple, something nice, I'd been around here the entire time. And all I'm doing is I'm growing from this. Because I'm not just doing just this, but I'm doing something else on the side. I'm reading up on certain games that I may run into it blind, but I'm not going to be stupid about it and just keep running blind. No, I'd rather have a walkthrough next to me. I'd rather be flipping through the pages and just saying, yeah, I have a walkthrough next to me. Because A, this game is too old, or it's been updated, so I had to make sure that my notes are the same and it's telling me to go the right way. Because I keep my notes around until the Let's Play is over, then I shred them. That's how it is. That's not so much of a secret, but that's what I do. See, after I'm done uploading the video, once I know it goes up, I can just throw away the raw footage. And all I'm doing is just either I'm putting it into storage or I'm recycling it. Just to make some fresh content. That's all I'm doing. So my question would be, what am I going to do now? I got two options what I'm going to do next. I have been contemplating about what to do with this computer, because this computer has been a 7 machine for the last couple of years up until recently. And because it's been like, say, about 10 years, it's a 10 machine now. I probably need to take it into the shop. I need to get it cleaned out. And I should also consider the fact that I probably need to get a new computer at this rate. Probably something with, say, 2 terabytes. It don't have to be a gaming PC, I just need a new computer. All I have on backup is, my old files that I probably don't need at this point. But just in case, should anything happen, oh hey, here's where I last left off. But I don't really need to say here's where I last left off. But the good thing is, I do have my storage device next to me. Should I need to go to my laptop and throw in the backup. At least my backup is on there, and all I would have to do is the following. Log in, download everything, and the only thing I would have to do is put in my password just to get my screen recorder. And make sure my passwords are always in. The stuff I've been doing for the last couple of months up to now, it has been something. It has definitely been something. So 10 years, and I'm still me. I'm still Izzy. I'm still the same old guy who believes to use whatever is deemed necessary just to beat one game and have fun while doing it. Because let's face it, as a rule, I do not believe in the LPer's curse. I really don't. That's one of my rules. I feel that if the game doesn't play fair, okay, game doesn't play fair. Why should I play fair? You can play cheap. I can play dirty. If I feel I need to step in, I'll step in. Screw the rules because I got green hair. Save states on my friends. They'll save my ass in the end. Those are my rules. And most importantly, the games that I do on this channel is by all means not for being noticed. Anybody can do that. If I was doing this to get noticed, I'd be one of them loud mouths out there that would just scream right over the game, have the volume turned down real low to where, oh, they have to talk like this. Because I'm louder than the game. You're an idiot. That's what you are. Views are nothing, really. Just, I feel I put a lot more work into what I do behind the camera than what you see in front of the camera. Because I might have footage backed up from, say, March of this year or even longer than that. I might be doing a Let's Play that's like 3 months old, but I did ahead of time. And people ask, well, when did you do this? Oh, I did this around this. Oh, I did this game 3 months back. Oh, I did this game two years back. Oh, I just started playing this yesterday. I'm also not doing this for personal glory. Another thing I'm not doing is I'm not doing quote unquote challenges. Because there's just no fun in doing a challenge in which the game itself is just not enjoyable to do. Whether the humor isn't there, the gameplay isn't there, and most importantly, the fun coming from the player isn't there. It becomes a back-breaking chore, and that's not good. I mean, those are a few things you have to know about me. I like to enjoy myself while I'm playing a game. I want to catch every little bit of humor that comes from playing it on the most decent setting available. Whether it be easy, which quote unquote is never easy. Easy in name, normal in context. That's all it is. And that's all I can say. So a game like Ease, if I put it on easy, that's normal. The only thing I cut out is the cheap hits. And all I did was lower the damage I would normally take. I try to play fair as much as I can. And if that's not good enough, well, I can always pull out cheats. It's like this. When I was teaching poetry to first grade, I said the following: there's no good and bad in poetry. There's no such thing as good poetry, nor there is such a thing as bad poetry. The same can be said about video games. There isn't a perfect Let's Player, because we're all imperfect. We just tend to show how rusty we are in some games and how much better we are in others. But that doesn't change the fact that we're all playing a game. We're all doing this for free entertainment. We're not getting paid for this, and if you are getting paid for it, then my God, man, why are you still doing it? It's either if you are getting paid for playing this game, they better pay you for the time and the effort that you're putting into. But if not, just enjoy the game for what it is. I know it's one of those kind of videos that's long as hell, but I feel after everything that I've been going through in life, you need to understand that, yeah, if I'm out there to prove something, I'm out there to prove it to myself. That even though I have a disability, I don't let it rule me. I don't feel sorry for having it. I let it work for me. I use the system to my benefit. And whatever I am rightfully entitled to, then yes, I am entitled to it. And rightfully so. So, that said, hey, I've hit 10 years on YouTube. Not sure I'm going to continue at this rate after 10 years. I mean, who knows what might happen in the next 5 years, you know. I mean, who knows? I might be married at that time. I might have children. I might have somebody to take over the spot that I'm playing. Maybe. But until the next of whatever I plan to do and play and beat and have my time with it, I've been Izzy. Underdog. Tenkaichi. That guy you see with his mom. My teacher. And I'll see you next time with more great content. So till then, take care. Thanks for watching and listening.